I'm a little concerned on how that last throttle body acted. It seemed like it was working and then it died. And I'm wondering if something didn't happen to the computer. I mean, it probably didn't, but I'm just curious. So I'm cleaning up, or I've cleaned up, I should say. I've cleaned up my original throttle body. Really good on the inside and a little on the outside. So I'm going to install that back in and see if I can get it to relearn the idle and make sure it doesn't have that P2101 error. I'm just in the back of my mind. It seems like maybe that throttle body was weird. Maybe it had an internal short or something, and maybe it might have knocked out the computer. I'm worried about that. So installing this old one should prove either way if the computer's still good, or if it was the throttle body, the new throttle body, or I don't know. Anyway, this is just a sanity check. I'm going to put this old one back in and see what it does. Okay, so I got it back in there. Everything's plugged in, and when I put the power connector back, the negative connector back on the ground to the car on the battery, the alarm started going off. It just honk, honk, honk. The only way to get that to turn off apparently is to have a fob that when you press unlock, it turns it off. And I didn't have that fob with me, so I had to run in the house and get it. So if that's a tip, you make sure you've got a fob that turns off the alarm if you're working on this. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get this the throttle body to relearn, and I'll be back. All right, so the car started with the old throttle body, and the engine light did not come back on when I did that, and it's idling reasonably. I don't have my other phone here to do anything with the watching the stats, the live data, so I will watch it with this phone. I have the application on this phone too, and I will look and see what the values are. I'll be back. Okay, so I played around with this for a little bit. When I first started the engine, the throttle body position was at 0.0 at idle, and the car was idling normally and fine. So I start revving it up to see what the throttle position did as I tried to rev up the engine, and I revved it up to 3,150 RPM, and the throttle position registered 3.9%. That seems low to me. I don't know what it should be, but it seems like it should be maybe like 30 or 40% at least, but it's registering 3.9%. So I think this throttle body definitely is not working right. After the engine gets hot and the engine's idling, the throttle position changes to 1.2%. That's why I'm getting those short-term fuel trims going up, because the computer thinks that the throttle is partially open, but it's not seeing the airflow, so it's adding gas. And so that explains to me why I'm getting the short-term trim values up, and consequently eventually it throws the error. Now, the fact that this throttle body is working like it did before tells me the computer didn't get damaged from the throttle body that did not work, and it also confirms to me that the throttle body, that replacement throttle body was bad. I mean, I don't have any doubt in my mind about that. Yeah, I'm not getting the P2101 error, and cleaning the throttle body on the inside did not make any difference. I'm still seeing problems. So there is an internal problem with the rheostat or whatever they're using to measure the position. I'm half tempted to drill out the rivets and see if it's something I can clean. Now, that throttle body had some grease and grum and gunk on it, primarily from the oil leaks that I had previously. Now the big oil leak was fixed, which was the camshaft position sensor O-ring. That was what was causing all that oil to blow up on it. Now, being exposed to that, and also with that air gap that I had from when the other people worked on the car, that sucked in some of that gunk into the plenum, and I've cleaned it out as best I could with with what I could reach with paper towels and cleaner. And also I cleaned it out of the throttle body just now, but I don't know if that gunk has caused any problems. It could have worked its way into the housing where the insides of the throttle body or where the electronics are. Maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe I could take it apart and clean it. I don't know. Just a thought. Maybe I'll do that later. Maybe I'll do that after I get a throttle body that actually works, though. I don't want to destroy this one because I can still drive the car with it. It's just, you know, it does the errors. It won't pass emissions testing. I think that's it for this one. I'm going to leave this old throttle body on just so, you know, if it rains and stuff, the moisture won't get in there as easy. I guess as before, if you guys have any ideas about any of this, let me know. I'm pretty confident this throttle body, throttle position is the problem. I am going to try to reprogram this, reprogram or relearn the idle and see if that makes any difference, but I suspect no. All right, well, that's it for this one.